2, 1. Here we go, guys. So we've got this. This is a perfect example of what is expected to get a level 3 on our skill check. There's no level 1 questions on here, but I'll talk to you a little bit about those before we get started on our self-assessment. So here we go. Let me grab these, and we're going to put them in here. I'm going to put them in there. There we go. Okay, and paste it in there, and we're off like a shot. Okay, let's see if I can get a little bit of help out there. Carson, which one do you want to help me with? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Number 1, okay. So how do you deal with number 1? Is that a really big number or a really small number? It's a really big number. How do you know it's going to wind up looking large instead of small? Because it has a positive exponent. It doesn't matter that it's got a negative value because it's national debt. That would be awesome. If our national debt was 0.00000 a bunch, that would be fantastic. Because the negative value talks differently than a negative exponent. So what is that in standard form? What did you write? Yes, go ahead. And you can just tell me what it was with all the zeros and everything. Well, I'm glad we're talking then. How would we? Because that's part of our getting our level 1. So 329, and very good, because 10 zeros would be it's two tens to get through here. That turns that into 10 here, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, comma, 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 comma. So $3,290,000,000,000. Which, by the way, guys, I've actually made a slight mistake. I need that negative, right? Because that's a negative number. That's a negative number, so we got to make sure we have that. Perfect. How many of us got negative $3,290,000,000,000? I think I actually wrote that down wrong because I think it's 32,900,000,000,000. So I think I have to change that a 12 into a 13 to make it accurate. But the number's correct anyway. Go ahead, Jude. Oh, perfect. You're good. Awesome. Okay, I need number 2, 3, and 4. Let's see if I can get a little bit of help here. And that's going to come from, that's going to be Kari. Which one would you like to help me with? All right, number 3. So what is the probability of winning the Powerball lottery in scientific notation? To the negative 9? Perfect. Percent. How many of us got 3.42 times 10 to the negative 9%? Oh, so there's 8 zeros after the decimal. That's the thing. There's 8 zeros after the decimal. Yeah, and if you have that, in order to get from there to there, you have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have to skip all those 8s and also the 3. That's why you can actually do it by just counting how many zeros there are. As long as you count that first one. They're good. Excellent. There we go. So I still need 2 and 4, the even numbers. Let's see if I can get a little help. This one's going to come from, let's see here, trying some empty seats there. In an Australian accent, Nora, what is the, which one do you want to help me with, Milady? 2 or 4? Number 4. How do I turn that into scientific notation? So it was 2.58 times 10 to the 8th, you said? Now, I like where you're at. Now, here's the thing. If you think about this, Nora, this is exactly why we're here to talk. If I actually take that and I move it 8 times that direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, notice that it says 258 times 10 to the 8th power, which is a little different. This is like you're thinking about it like a 2-step. It's like you're combining your 2-step with your 1-step, and it's causing some problems. So go ahead. How would you fix it? We need to move it 2 more times, which means instead of an 8, that should be a 10. Excellent. How many of us got 2.58 times 10 to the 10th there? 2.58 times 10 to the 10th. Okay. You know what's interesting? You know what we're going to do? Can I show you where we're going after this, just out of curiosity? I've got a question for you. How many times would we have to skip Valentine's Day in order to pay off our national debt? I could actually figure that out. If you did negative 3.29 times 10 to the 12th divided by 2.58 times 10 to the 10th, if I have powers with the same base, I subtract their exponent, so that's times 10 squared. And I don't know, negative 3.29 divided by 2.58. Got to do this guy. TI Smart View, TM Emulator software for the TI 30X / TI 34 Multiview, TM Calculators, Texas Instruments, validating software license, ... and so on. Maybe it'll go, hello. I don't know why this part always takes forever. So we have 3.29 divided by 2.58. 3.29 divided by, oops, not that. 3.29 divided by 2.58, which is about 1.28, which means if we skipped 128 Valentine's Day days, we could all pay off our national debt. I know, I was going to say 128 years though. That's a long time. That's a long time, Kieran. It's true, you're right. So that's even if we don't make it grow anymore, that's true. But anyway, I'm going to tell you that's a level 3 question on our skill check, not tomorrow, but like next week. After seeing that one time, how many people are like, I think I could do that? Great, that's excellent. Now, I've never taught you how to do it. I just showed you because I thought it was fun. But let's see what we got here, guys. Let's see if I can get a little bit of extra help here. Will, help me out with number 2. How would I write the weight of a net in standard form out of scientific notation? Exactly. Exactly. It's 0.50485. It's exactly right. How many of us either got that or see how Will got that at 2 alarms? You guys doing all right out there? Perfect. This is how you get a 3 on your skill check. There's one other thing you have to worry about, your level 1. I'll talk to you about your level 1s really quick before we move on. Your level 1 is something like this. Is this in scientific notation? Is that in scientific notation? Yes or no? No, that's not in scientific notation. 12 times 10 to the 8th is not in scientific notation. Who can tell me why? Who can tell me why that's not, Gwen? Exactly. So if I wanted it in scientific notation, assuming it was correct, it'd be 1.2 times 10 to the 9th. That's in scientific notation. How about this, guys? Is this in scientific notation? Negative 4.9 times 10 to the negative 8th. Is that in scientific notation, yes or no? Yes, absolutely, because there's only one digit before the decimal. I've got a 10. Is this in scientific notation? 8 times 9 to the 12th. Nah, that's got to be a 10. That's not in scientific notation. And then there's one last thing you got to worry about, but it should be alarming to you. If anybody tries to do this to you, 3.8 times 10 to the 4.9. Do you guys think that's in scientific notation? No, it's actually not. Can someone tell me why they think it's not in scientific notation? It breaks a rule I've never talked about, but there's something about it that should make you very nervous. Aurora? Yeah, you can't have decimals in the exponent. That's how you get your 1. How many of us feel like we can get our 1s there? You just say it's in scientific notation or not. Great. It's the 114th day of school, guys. You know that 114 is the smallest natural number yet to be expressed as 3 integers raised to the 3rd power added up, or proven that it's not possible. Basically, it means like this. For example, I can write 20 as a sum of 3 cubes. I think it's 3 to the 3rd plus negative 2 to the 3rd plus 1 to the 3rd, because that's 27 plus a negative 8 plus 1, which is 19 plus 1, which is 20. And we don't know. Every number under 114, I know I can do. 0 to 114 is good. I can do all those. But I don't know if I can do 114, and I don't know if it's impossible either, because I think we know it's impossible for some bigger numbers. It's Love Your Pet Day. Yay, of course you love your pet, but today's the day to give them a little extra loves. You know what I mean? All right. Denise, what's our first essential question today? How can I prepare? Shh. Settle down now. How can I prepare for tomorrow's skill check? On scientific notation basics. And then what's our second essential question? And I would love to get that from, let's see here, that's going to come from Kenley. What changes happen in the scoreboard game level 6? While you're writing those down, and 5 minutes is up on our Aussie. 5-letter words is our Jeopardy this week. This enormous sea mammal. Blue ones are the largest animals that ever lived. Whale is the correct answer. 5-letter word is W-H-A-L-E. And then dictionary is tic-tac-toe. Do you guys know I cannot be beaten at tic-tac-toe? Indeed, when it comes to near the end of the year, I will absolutely take that bet. Now, I'm not saying I'll win, but I am saying I'll never lose. I'm saying I'll never lose. Did you have a question? Okay, perfect. Okay. The last thing we needed to talk about before we worked on our self-assessment. Oh, what am I doing? I forgot. I got to tell you about the scoreboard game level 6. So scoreboard game level 6 still works very much the same as scoreboard game levels 1 through 5. If you're doing stuff that makes me happy, I put a point on the happy side. If you're doing stuff that makes me sad, I put points on the sad side. Speaking of, you guys are all paying attention, nice and quiet. I think you guys do deserve a point for that. Now, here we go. Okay, so when people are meeting my expectations above and beyond, they show up on the star team. They get all kinds of privileges. They can listen to music during work time. They can walk around during the last 5 minutes of class. Moon team repeatedly not meeting my expectations. Students there just have to, if they lose, they wind up spending time after class. Nobody likes that. If we all lose, we have to spend a little time after class. That's pretty rare. If you get 7 or more points on here, you get all the star team benefits, except you can't vote for the new accent cards. If we win the scoreboard game, you get an accent card, and you get those 5 minutes near the end of the day. But here's the big difference. How much did you guys win by last time on Friday? What did you guys win by? That says you won by 3. It says you won by 3. So if you win by 3, normally that means you get an accent card. But today that means there's 3 accent cards in here. So however much you win by, that's how many accents you get. And they can get mixed up. So for example, if I wound up pulling, like if they'd been closer together, who's next? Oh, goodness gracious. The next card was going to be the singing card, which means I would have to do an Australian accent and sing at the same time. Today's a little bit weird because we're working on our self-assessment, so there's not as many cards that are going to get pulled because we're about to get going on there. But that's how that goes, okay? Any questions about scoreboard game level 6? Yeah, go ahead. So here's the thing: we're not playing against the other teams. We're playing against ourselves. Really, we're winning by 3. First period's winning by 3. Table 3 we tied. Table 1, period 3 we tied. 5th and 6th period and 7th period we just won by 1. We're playing against ourselves. The only time you're against other people is for the star team benefits, unless you hit 7, in which case you get it. But also you guys get to vote on the new accent card. Speaking of, I noticed that last week you guys won the scoreboard game altogether, meaning you guys get to vote on the accent cards. Now I can't give everybody a post-it note and have you vote there, so I'll have that available for you after your skill check. There's going to be a little link that you guys can go to, and it'll let you vote on the new accents. Okay, perfect. Let's talk about a level 4. So here's your level 4. Got a pencil? So let's write this down really quick. Let's say that your friend is getting this question wrong, and they think I've messed up on my I've messed up on my self-assessment, which I do sometimes. 0.000000045. And they're saying that that's negative 4.5 times 10 to the 7th. So my question is, are they correct? And if they are not correct, what is the mistake that they made? Like, talk to each other. If your friend came to you and said, I get this and I keep getting this, what am I doing wrong? What would you tell them? This is how you get a 4. Teach, teach. Yes. Let's get started with our self-assessment because we're right there. Okay, can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Edie, did they get this correct? No, and what did they do wrong? Uh-huh, and instead? Yeah, the negative in these situations belongs with the exponent, right? The negative in these situations, these very small numbers, belongs with the exponent because it's not a negative value, it's just a really small number. And that would be worth a 4. That explanation would be worth a 4. How many of us feel like we could manage that? We can look at these. It's not necessarily this mistake. That mistake is possible, but there's a lot of different mistakes you can make on scientific notation. Okay, when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, I want you guys to go ahead and open up your Chromebooks and start working on, because as you can see, we need our math notebook, pencil, and our Chromebook today. 12.3, 12.3, let me get this going, 12.3, which is the Scientific Notation Basics Review. Scientific Notation Basics Review. Also, one other announcement. Tomorrow, guys, for that skill check, there's going to be a substitute. She'll be here to give you guys the skill check. So just make sure that you're ready when you're done doing something quiet and making life easier.